This is a pre-release demonstration of a functional test software that I have been creating over the last month. This software what it's designed to do is make it where you have less user error when you're running tests that are things in what you're calling scripts or maybe different executables, and you have different multiple steps within the tests. The software basically you can you can create your own projects. I'll go here to the edit create, so you can create your own projects. It has steps as dialogue for what to do as you're going through the test, and you can say what test you're running. You select your test, and you can either select you have a user response or you don't. And what the user response would be a pass or a fail. You can have it where the test passes out a pass or a fail, or you can have it where the user has to. You could ask the user, did the board respond in a specific manner, and they can say yes or no. There's multiple steps. I'm just going to go through and demonstrate, how some of these work. The first thing you know is there are INI files over here as I'm going through this. I'll show you how to create them. You can create them with this software. And right now, there's also no test results. You can see that. And what I'll do is I'll lower this window so you can see everything as it's going. I'll bring this down because what happens is this calls executables and it launches, and you'll see it up here. It doesn't have to do that. I can make it where it's invisible to the user, but I'm doing that as a demonstration purpose only. So I'll go ahead and I'll just select a test. I will start with this wood. It's a real fast wood. I can use a serial number, or I can do not use a serial number. I'm just going to select not to use one for the moment, and I'll go ahead and run this test. You see it says, a start date. It says the time and the date, and it tells you steps on what to do for when you're setting up the board. And this one generated a pass for the output. It comes out of the actual batch file. You can see it created a results file. I'll run it again so you'll see two responses or two test results. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure you see at least 3 test results in this one. And the next one, I'm just going to use a serial number. I'm going to say maybe it's the first board. And I might as well go ahead and just do another one. It's so quick. I mean, I'm not really testing a board at the moment. I'm just testing the functionality of the software. If it's calling this script, it will, it'll communicate with the board. If your script is set up to talk to a board. So that would be the first one. I'll just go to the next one. I'll select a different project. This one has no steps in the project at all. And what you'll see is it will fail. So I'll say use no serial numbers. It'll say the test has no steps available. So, and I'll show you what that means. When I created that one, there's no test steps over here. These have test steps in them. This one doesn't have any, so it can't do any testing of that. So I'll go to the next one, and I'm going to say sound card. I'm going to say do not use serial numbers. Did I hear audio? Yes, I did. Was the auto sample silent? Yes, it was. So I'll select yes. And I want to run that one again, but this time I'm going to fail one just so you can see that it fails. So I'll say I did not hear audio when I did. And on that one, I will select yes for the user response for a pass. So I have a fail and a pass on that one. I'll go to the next test. And again, I'm doing this as fast as I can. Um, Here's one with no user response. So I'll go ahead and select it. And see it generated a pass or a fail, but now it's asking me to press continue again. But it said reset button and press continue, just in case that was, a step in your test. And the result is pass. So I'm going to leave that one the way it is. I'll go to the next one. And this one, I'm going to do a multi-step test in which I have some kind of user response. I'm going to use a serial number on this just to show you that it's still working. It says press continue. Press continue. Press continue. And that would be the end of that one. I'm going to show you what all of these look like over here in a minute, but I'm just trying to run through these things as fast as I possibly can. This one is something I just added. It's where you run a test, but there's no user dialog whatsoever. I'm just typing something in. And what this is just going to keep running through the test to the very end. It requires, you just start the test. Um, it would pass or fail, and it just keeps going through each step as it goes along. It based on the results of what it's doing, pass or fail. And the batch file is determining the output of pass or fail. It shows that one fails. So on that one, but the batch file selects that, and I can show you all of that when I show you the code and how to generate things. But now I'll show you these files over here, Excel files. These are the results. So the first file, you can see that it shows test results over here. Um, has a time and a date stamp for each test. These are individual tests. You can tell us each one of these is a different time. Here's one where the serial, it actually had serial numbers on two of them. The other two I didn't run with serial number, and it gives you the results. I have this one here, which is this was the last one I ran, I think. And on this one, you can see that it was one test. I only ran it one time, and it had results for all three tests that it ran: a pass, and a fail. So this is the last one I ran. I only ran one. It's one serial number. It had three tests involved in that. Then the next one is this one. This is also a multi-step test. And with this one, you can see the results are, it's also one test, had four steps, and it has a pass, fail, pass, pass. It's the same serial number. Um, then I had the sound card test, and I'm just showing you the test results to show you that this is working. This one I didn't use any serial numbers. It has time and date stamps. It has what test name it is. So it shows you what file you used to test. And it gives you their pass fail results. And there's no serial numbers on this one. And then this is the last one that I have. You can see I ran this one two times. It looks like I didn't use a serial number on it either. It looks like it's one test because it has the same time and date stamp. So this one would be one test that ran two different files in the same test. But anyway, this is a little software that I'm going to release. I'm going to give the source code away and show you how to compile it. If you want to use it, you can use it with serial number, without serial number. I'll show you how to edit, create in a second, but you can select a project to use, like I was doing. You can make one of them as a default. Let's say I want to make this one as a default. So I make a default. Now when I go back here, it's the default test. When I go, I can, we'll see, that would be the functional test. And then, and when it starts up, it'll start up with that as default. And then you can edit and create. And I'm going to show you how to do this really quick too. I'm just going to say I'm going to create a new one since I've already got these, because I can edit them as I want to. I'll just edit the no steps. I'll just edit it and I'll give it steps. So I'll add one with user response dialog. Right now, if I type none, no dialogue, it'll go through it. It'll just keep going. Just type none, and then there will be, it'll just keep going, and it will not ask for the continue. It'll just keep going through all the tests. That's just for right now. I think I'm gonna change that. So what I would do is say step 1, turn power supply on. Step 2, press continue, like that. And then put update. You see updates over here. Test dialog. You could say running test 1. Or you just leave it as it is. It doesn't matter. Test is where you would select the batch files or your files that you would be using for your test. I'll just use this one as a pass. And the user response would be, did you see the LEDs flashing red? Say update. And I say it because that's something that they asked at one of the corporations I worked at. When you got to the end of the test, it said, "Do you see the LEDs turning on and off?" Things like that. So now I'll go back and show you that one does work. That was the one with no steps. That one, select it. I'll just use serial number. So those are 1, 2, 3. See, turn top, press continue. And it says, do you see the LEDs flashing red? I'm going to say no, because I don't see any LEDs flashing. And now you have this one, which is the one I just ran. You could see the actual, it's 7:13 a.m. right now. That's the one it just created it. And there's my results. So you can see the software is working. It's something that I'm going to give the source code away so you can use it. If you want to use it, you can compile it yourself. That way you'll see that there's nothing in there that would cause any problems for your company. And if you see something that's wrong, you can fix it yourself. You have the source code. You can modify it any way you want to. But anyway, this is just a small demonstration of a software I've been working on for the last few days. It's a functional test software. I have a few more changes I'm going to make to it, and then I'm going to give the source code. But this is just a small demonstration of what it can do. Have a good day.